Good morning. Thank you for joining me on Ithaca. Thank you for joining me on Ithaca Morning Movement today. Today we are going to go through the Jin Jing together. And the thing I want to just say about this real quick is that this is a sequence that I learned from Robert Pung, and you can have the opportunity to actually study it with him. And he has some really wonderful breathing techniques that also go with it. And he offers it usually a couple of times a year through an online program. So it's a really great thing to do. And it goes over I think 14, I forget how many days, like 98 days or something. And it's a really transformative experience. So I would highly recommend actually learning from a Qi Gong master. My hope with this series so far has been to lead you through movements and connect them to the channels and the organs themselves from the perspective of an acupuncturist. So I think that if you decide to do something like the Jin Jing and really study it with somebody like Robert Pung, you will have a great foundation of understanding why we could do these movements and how they connect to the organs in a really practical way, by knowing this is the channel and this is where the organ lives and this is what it represents. And so it can have a deeper level of meaning and richness in your practice. So thanks for joining me today, and let's get started. So at this point, we've gone through 12 different organ movements. I'm going to move the camera. I think that the heart and small intestine were cut off. The movements were cut off. So I'm going to just go through those movements really briefly, and then we'll incorporate those into the whole form. Okay, so as you'll remember, the heart and the small intestine were the first two organs of the fire element, and when you're going through them, they follow right after the spleen. So we've done the spleen, and that's the separating heaven and earth, and so then we would go into the heart. So the way that, and if you'll remember, the heart channel starts under the armpit, right? The heart is over here. The heart, one point, starts right in the armpit and travels up the pinky side of the inner arm. So it's going right along through here. And you'll remember heart 8 is where the point you find when you bend your pinky in and it touches your palm. Okay, and then heart 9 is the very end there. So that's important because when we do the heart movement, what we're going to do is 1, 2, step forward, reach, grasp, 3, 4, pull down, 5, 6. So you have one hand facing the floor, one hand facing here. So when you have these, you really feel your palms expanded and feel like they are breathing too, right? So you can almost feel like there's energy that goes in and energy that goes out through your palms. And you can, if you need to activate it, you can pinch your pinky finger into your palm and feel that point, heart 8. So you hold this for a moment. This is where we would do our moderate fire breathing, right? That's where the abdomen comes in and then out with the in-breath, out with the out-breath. Let me do that 3 times. And then you reach forward. It's called pulling the bull's tail. 1. Right? Reach forward, pull it, 2. And so as you're pulling, it's as though you really have resistance pulling away from the bowl. You're trying to drag that bowl towards you. Okay? And so you'd go through 9 of them. Right? You pull across. And then at the end, we'll go back to that held position for 3 relaxed breaths. Face forward, left foot comes in a little. Let me do this again. 1, 3, 4, reach, pull across, and then hand forward. So it's your right hand facing forward, your left hand facing down, and your knees are slightly bent. And this has 3 moderate fire breaths. And then we go up, reach, pull across, reach, pull across. As you go forward, your back foot a little bit might come up off on the toe just a smidge. So you're reaching up. And so when you're pulling, there's going to be like, it's a slow pull. And you might feel your hands, the palm of your hand with the pinky. And the other thing that just keep in mind what you're doing is you are extending the heart channel and you are contracting the heart channel. You're extending it and you're contracting it. So you can imagine that those channels, every time you're extending one of the channels, it's like there's a metal thread, like a copper wire going through there. And it extends, and then as your arm bends, there's like a slackness to the channel, right? And bend. And so then we come here, step your right foot in just a little bit to hip width, hands at the heart, we come up, come back down, and then we're ready to move into small intestine. Small intestine is called pushing the mountain. So you step your left foot out. You're going to do 2 in and out breath sequences for this. Breathe in, and then push, clap your hands together, and reach up. So when we do this, the push out extends the small intestine channel, which is also on the pinky, but on the outside, right? It goes over to the shoulder blade and up the side of the neck. So you bring energy up from the lower dantian and you're pushing it forward. So this is, if you were pulling a bowl is very heavy, right? There's resistance. If you imagine pushing the mountain, there's going to be resistance, but don't push with your hands, right? You're pushing from the lower dantian. You're solid in your feet and you're pushing. And so that's going to be with the strong fire breath. Clap your hands. Inhale, natural breathing. Exhale, natural breathing. So this is the mountain, right? So you're pushing the mountain and your arms come down. And we'll do this 9 times. On the 9th one, push, and we're not going to clap. We're just going to relax. And go to 3 times of natural breathing. So at both times when you're pushing forward, small intestine channel is extended, right? Extending it. And then we're extending it, but we're extending it in the other direction. We're stretching through the shoulder blade. And then release. So we contract the small intestine channel, extend through the small intestine channel. Keep it extended, stretching through the shoulder blades, and release down. So that's the heart and the small intestine. Just wanted to move through those because I think my internet signal was cut off. I'm just going to make sure everything is good so far. All right, we're good. Okay, so with that going, the way that we start the Jin Jing sequence is with vertical alignment, a little bit of shaking, and then we move through the confirmation opening sequence. We'll do the 12 poses and then a closing sequence, and that's it for the morning, okay? The last thing I'll say about that is it can be helpful to think about the Jin Jing as you're going through it as a sequence of 3 squares. So the first organ set of the lung and the large intestine, stomach and spleen is our first square. Those are the organs of the metal and earth element, or what we call the Tai Yin and Yang Ming. They're like a square dance set. And then we move through the heart, small intestine, bladder, and kidney. And that takes us through fire and water. That's the second set. And then the third set takes us again through double fire, which is pericardium, sanjiao, and then wood, which is gallbladder and liver. So those 3, 1 lung, starting then with the second set heart, and then the last set pericardium, that takes us through the 3 squares of the total 12 organs, okay? So it starts with lung, second one starts with heart, third one starts with pericardium. Those 3 are actually the 3 what we call hand-yin channels, right? Starts with lung, goes to heart, and then to pericardium. So those are the origin points for each of the sets. So if you're trying to sort of remember the order of things, what are we doing, or trying to place where you are, it can be helpful to remember that they go in little groups. And those groups are meaningful in other ways too. Okay, let's go. So find a comfortable place with your feet about hip width apart. Connect with your toes, your big toe on the ground. Connect with the heel of your foot and the outside toes. Right outside of your foot, expand the toes out, connect into the wood, the ground beneath your feet. Bend your knees slightly. Tailbone sinks down. Top of the head stretches up, so your spine is elongated and naturally curved. Breath in. Raise your shoulders up. Exhale. Drop. And do another. Breath in. Drop. Shake out your shoulders. You can tuck your tongue just behind your top teeth and curl your lips into a gentle smile. Soften into your body and feel as though your skin and your pores are all opening and receiving air and energy from the room around you. Listen to a sound coming from far, far away that can bring a feeling of tranquility inside you. Now we're going to move the body by shaking. Start by bending your knees and let everything else be loose. Let your head be loose. Let your arms dangle from the shoulders, hands dangle from the wrists. You can release air with your voice. With you can imagine golden light, like little stars, just shaking down inch by inch, almost like you're a down comforter trying to shake all those little feathers back down into the other side. Just shake it down, shake, 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 shake. When you do shaking, you are also activating your lymph system and you are helping move lymph from areas where it may be congested. So you can now we're going to shake to the 6 directions, so more vigorously and intentionally shaking to the ground, the earth. Shake behind you. For me, that's to the west, to the east for me, shaking forward, then to the north and the south, to either side, up to the heavens, and down to the earth. And stop. Regulate your breathing and feel. Okay. Bring your feet together and place your hands at the lower dantian. That's the space that's just about a hand breadth below your navel. We talk about this so much in acupuncture and in Qi Gong. Many martial arts will come back to a sense of centeredness here in your low abdomen. This is the place that will expand, contract as we breathe. So see if you can feel your breath. You don't need to alter it right now, just feel it. Now lift your left foot up. Step out to hip width apart. Now let your arms float up with an inhale. Exhale, rotate your palms facing up. Inhale, arms come up to the sky into prayer position. Exhale, bring them to your chest. 3 moderate fire breaths. Moderate fire is reverse abdominal breathing, where your abdomen contracts in with the in-breath and relaxes with the out-breath. 2, 3. Arms rise up. Shift weight onto your both feet together. Hands come down, back to low dantian. Relax breathing, 2, 3. Now step your left foot out. We're going to do the first pose for the lung position, for the lung organs. Imagine your elbows are gently bent. You're holding onto a ball, a Qi ball. As you breathe in, arms come forward towards your chest. As you breathe out, they push away. Okay, remember the lung channel on the inside of the arm. So we'll do moderate fire, moderate fire for 3 breaths. And strong fire for 9. 30% for the first 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now give it 50% of your effort. 7, 8. Now 80% of your effort for 9. And relax, natural breathing, feel your lungs. Feel the grief or sorrow that may be in your heart or your chest or your lungs. Feel also the possibility of kindness. And as you reach up, bring your arms down, hands back to dantian. Inhale, exhale. Move to movement for the large intestine. Bring your hands up through the center, and then you're going to reach out, leading with the pointer finger, the first point on the large intestine channel. With moderate fire breathing, feel a sense of strength reaching from one hand to the other hand. 1. Moderate fire. 2, 3. Now we're going to rise up on our toes as we breathe in. Contract, condensing that pearl in the abdomen. Stretch from your tips of your finger. 1. Up on the toes. Stretch from the roots of your fingers. 2. Up on your toes. Stretch from your wrist. Up. Stretch from the elbows. Breathing in. Up. Stretch from the armpits. Breathing in, up, stretch from the shoulder blades. That's 6. Stretch from the spine. Up on your toes. Stretch from fingertip to fingertip. 8. Up, last one, reach to the horizon. Stretch as you breathe out. And now relax your hands, your arms, and feel 3 breaths. Turn your hands to your heart. Just worked the large intestine channel. See if you can also connect with the large intestine organ in your body. As you breathe in and out. Sense any stagnation and welcome in relief. Now we'll move to stomach. Lift up left leg, step out. Hands rise up, facing up, and then at chest level they rotate and face upwards. So imagine you're holding the sky in your hands and that the sky itself has weight to it. So you're not just letting your arms float, there's a sense of resistance, right? Holding your arms up against a resistance. 3 breaths, moderate fire. Remember, the stomach channel starts from just below the eye, goes down the entire front of the body, down the shin, right? The front of the shin to the second toe. So we are going to contract and expand the whole stomach channel with our movement. Bend your knees, look down with an inhale, and then exhale, push up. I'm going to do 9. 2. 3. 4. 5. You can shift to 50%. 6. 7. This is weightlifting. 8. Last one, 80%. And relax for 3 breaths. Feel where the stomach is in your body. Feel any sense of irritability, dissatisfaction. See if you can find some feeling of satisfaction. I have what I need. What I have is enough. We're going to step up left foot, hip width. Now we move into the spleen position, which is separating heaven and earth. Left hand reaches out, makes a circle. Right hand reaches through, passes the plate. Flamenco arms, hand up to the head. Bottom hand on the low back. Connect from the top hand all the way through the spine to the bottom hand, so the connection between them feels stronger in your moderate fire breathing. Spleen takes energy and transports it up and down. 30%, 2. Bend your knees, collapse your body like a spring, expand and stretch out. 3. 4. 5. Now to 50%. Slightly tighter spring. 6. 7. 8. Now very tight spring. 80%. 9. And relax. 3 breaths. The spleen is on the left side, kind of tucked up under the ribs. When we're doing this, we are stretching through the rib cage where spleen 21, the last point, is located. And we're going to touch our hands above, bring them down. Right hand comes out through the jacket, pass around the plate, flamenco arms, hand up to the head, left hand on the low back. Feel a sense of connection between the 2 hands with your moderate fire breath 3 times. 3. Ready to clap, contract, and extend. 1, 30% of your strength. 2, root down into your big toe. 3, the beginning of the spleen channel. 4, feel as your legs bend, you're contracting the spleen channel. 5, now up to 50%. We're extending the spleen channel all the way up to the ribs. 6, 7, 8, 80% with the last one. 9, and relax. Spleen organ, feel it. Hands come to your heart. Check in and see if there's any worry weighing on your mind today. Welcome in confidence. With an inhale, hands up. Exhale, feet come together, hands to the low dantian. Step feet out. Now we're moving into our second square dance set with the heart. This is what we talked about. Hands up, 1, 2, reach forward, 3, 4, grab that tail, pull it across. 5, 6, left hand faces out, right hand faces down like you're a mime in a box. Here's the floor, here's the wall. Sink down on your knees. Moderate fire, 3 breaths. Feel your palms. Feel energy in your hands. I'm going to activate the heart channel. Reach, pull that bull's tail across, 30%. 2, 3, 4, 5, 50%, 6. Heel comes up in the back, settles down. 7, 8. Last one, 80% of your effort, pull that bull. Return to starting position. Hand to the floor, hand to the wall. 3 breaths. Feel your heart. Your hands down, step left foot in. We're going to switch to the other side. Remember, heart is the organ of joy, the organ of fire and connection. Left hand faces down, right hand facing the wall. 3 breaths, moderate fire. Now, when you reach up, 30%. Now 50%. 6, 7, 8. Last one, 80%. All your might. Return to starting position. 3 breaths. Feel your heart. And face forward, pivot on your foot. Bring your right foot in just a little bit. Hands to your heart. Check and see if there's any feeling of frenzy or agitation affecting your heart. welcome in joy, a peaceful joy, a contented kind of joy. We're going to step our left foot out. We're moving into pushing the mountain for small intestine. Going to gather up energy, push it forward. And then we're doing relaxed breathing at the point where we're in the mountain pose. So we'll alternate between a strong fire breath and a relaxed fire, like a relaxed breath, okay? So breathe in, push, strong fire. Relaxed breath in, relaxed breath out. Strong fire in. 3, 4. This is just 30% of your effort. Remember, we're activating the small intestine channel. 5. Stretching it up, releasing it down. Now we're going to move to 50% of effort. You'll notice that as I'm pushing, I bend my knees. Settle down in your center of gravity. 7. Here we are at 8. And the last one. And then relax. 3 breaths, relaxed breath. Small intestine, all in the abdomen here. See if you can be aware of that organ in your torso. Hands to your heart. Small intestine is charged with the job of separating the pure from the impure. See if there's any uncertainty that's in your mind or your heart. And welcome in a sense of clarity. Then we move to bladder. Urinary bladder channel starts at the inner corner of the eyes, traverses over the head, down the back, and 2 rows on either side of the spine. Goes down the back of the leg to the pinky toe. This is the longest channel, and one that as we bend and stretch, imagine the back of you lighting up, condensing and expanding. This is going to start again with reaching your left hand out, right hand past the plate, flamenco arms, but down farther, hand on the nape of the neck or lower, right hand in low back, and feel a sense of connection between the 2 hands stretching through the spine. For moderate fire breaths, 3 times. Bend your knees, grasp as though you were drawing a sword. Inhale, expand, exhale. 30% of your effort. Connect through that pinky toe. 3. Eyes focused forward. 5. Now shift to 50% of your effort. 6. 7. 8. Now up to 80%. And relax. Get a sense, reconnect with your bladder and your low abdomen. Reach your hands, touch up above your head, bring them back down. Now right hand, arm through the sleeve, left hand passes the plate, flamenco arms up, hand behind the neck, touching the upper back, low back with the left hand. Feel a sense of connection for 3 moderate fire breaths. Now bend your knees. On the inhale, stretch your knees up. 1, moderate, strong fire. 30%. 3, 4, 5, up to 50%. 6, 7. Remember, bladder is associated with progress, drawing the sword, fighting for progress. Last one, 80%. 9. Rest your hands, relaxed breath for 3. If you notice, hands at your chest, any feeling of jealousy or impeded progress, observe that. Step your feet back together. Welcome in process, progress, and smooth, easy flow. We are now halfway through the sequence. Plus, now we're going to move the last of this middle square. This is kidney. What you might notice is that your body is feeling warm. You might notice a slight amount of sweat develop. When we do the fire breathing, this is to increase heat in your body. When you are cold, you are dead. So we want to bring in heat into our body. That is a point of this strong fire breathing, this Qi Gong exercise, to bring heat and activity and warmth to every organ. So now we do this for the kidney. This is called dynamic horse pose. The horse pose refers to this wider spread in the legs and bending up and down, right, as though you were on a horse. The angle of your legs is as comfortable. It just needs to be comfortable for you. For you, that may mean here, that may mean here. It may be a deep squat, it may be a gentle squat, whatever's comfortable for you, okay? You need to protect your knees. So we traverse up the kidney channel. Remember, bubbling spring, kidney 1 is on the bottom of the foot, travels up the insides of the legs, up to here on the chest. So remember that as you're doing this movement, right? We're filling up, it's like filling up with water. You just fill it up, draw it up from the floor, up through your feet, fill it up through your whole body. We are 70% or more of water. So fill yourself up with water, okay? So here we go. 1, 2. Inhale, relaxed breathing. Exhale, relaxed breathing down. Now we're going to make the circle bigger. 1, 2, 3. Make the circle bigger. Squat down lower if you can. 1, 2, 3. Now this is a point where you go down onto the floor or a chair. Feel a sense of connection with the ground below you that's solid and firm. You can imagine yourself as a rock at the bottom of the ocean. All the currents and waves are happening above you, and you are not troubled by any of that. Down here, you are firm and calm and solid. Gently bring yourself back up to standing. Feet about hip width apart. Hands here at your chest. Kidneys, when they're feeling unstable, might feel a sense of fear. See if there's fear. Fear is an emotion that is hardwired into us to keep us safe. But it doesn't take fear to keep us safe. We can use the strengths of the kidneys, which are wisdom, and strength of willpower, and caution. So tap into your own sense of caution and wisdom and strength of your willpower to help transform fear. Now we move into the last of our squares. I'm going to do the pericardium next, which is twisting the spine. So arm through the sleeve, pass the plate around, flamenco arms, hand wraps around the ear, the other side. Hand is still on the low back, right? The other hand is on the low back. And again, feel the connection through your skull, through your spine, as though your two hands both have an energetic, you're connecting a circuit with your two hands across your spine. And feel the current between them. And now with gentle breathing, just relaxed breathing, you're going to twist your spine so you look over to the right. Left hand over the right ear, pulls you gently looking to the right, and return. Inhale, look to the right. Exhale, return to center. Inhale, look. Exhale, center. 4. That was 4. 5. I like to imagine that I'm like a balloon, like one of those long party balloons. And I'm twisting the balloon and then untwisting it, right? Making a little twist that separates into 2 sections, above and below, and then untwist and all the contents mix freely. That was 9. Touch the hands above your head. Reach down now with the right hand, arm through the sleeve, left hand past the plate, flamenco arms, reach over and around, cover your left ear with your right hand. Remember, the pericardium goes through the middle of the arm, reaching to the middle finger. You might feel a stretch through that channel as you twist gently with the inhale. And as you exhale, you release that constraint and welcome in universal Qi. So with the twist, Qi goes to the head and to the low back. Constraint through the chest. Release opens the chest. We'll say this is 5. 6. 7. All just relaxed breathing, no effort. 8. 9. Just rest your hands for 3 breaths. See if you sense anything in your palms, that point in the middle of your palm, Lao Gong. Middle finger. Bring your hands to your chest. You are right in the area of the pericardium. Your thumbs are touching the point on the sternum, which is what we call conception vessel, or Ren 17, which is the point that can help open the chest and release emotions. So you can actually activate that point with your thumbs tapping into the pericardium, see if there's any sense of defensiveness, right? We will put on a defensive strategy when we feel under attack. See if there's any defensiveness. The strength of the pericardium is to protect. It is the heart protector. And we need protection. We don't need to be defensive, but we need to be protected. See if you can drop the sense of defensiveness and instead welcome in your inherent knowing of how to protect. We're going to move into the triple heater. This one is a little bit more dynamic, and I'm hopeful that you can see me as I do this. So I'm going to shift this because I'm going to be on the floor. Okay, so for this, we're going to echo the movement that we did for the heart. We're going to go 1, 2, but now we're going to, it's like reach up and grab a sheet, pull it around you, over and down to the floor. So you're on one knee, 1 foot up. Remember that the triple heater is about the 3 burners, right? 3 areas of transformation in the body: lower, middle, and upper. And we are going to imagine that there's a ball infusing those as we move through this pose. So as you move, you're going to have the lower burner, the middle burner, and the upper burner as you breathe out. So breathing in, lower, middle, breathing out, upper. The triple burner is also associated with strong point of external focus. So when we are intensely focused on something, we are activating, like with a mental focus, we are activating the upper dantian, the upper burner. So this is called crouching tiger, eyes the prey. So when you are crouching down, you are strongly focusing on whatever that prey is that you want to go after. So you 1, 2, bring up, 3, you're crouching, okay? So we're gonna, sorry, this is a long time on your knee. We'll do 1 more strong, immediate fire breath. And get ready. 1, 2, exhale. Inhale. 2. 7, 8, last one. Settle back on your knee and relax, breath. 3, 2, 1. Now get back up onto your feet, face forward, step your feet in, and here we go to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, grab a sheet, pull it over, 5, 6, and down. Moderate fire for 3 breaths. Rocking back on that back foot. 1, 2, exhale, 3, 2, 3. When you crouch down, you eye that prey. 4, 5. Your whole body tenses. 8. Last one. relaxed breath for 3. And pivot your feet forward. Stand up. Check in with your breath. Bring it back to the low abdomen. The triple heater unifies. It unifies the upper, lower, and middle of our body. And you can see if there's any feeling of fragmentation or disconnectedness. As you step up and in, bring in cohesiveness, sense of integration. I'm going to move my screen again. There we go. Okay, last 2 poses. Now, no entry movement for this. We're moving the gallbladder. So this is where you put your hands over your ears. Your fingers are back at the nape of your neck right here. And you're going to be using this drumming activity where you it's like a 2-fingered snap. You have pressure on your middle finger and you press towards the skin. But you're going to do that on this point back here, gallbladder 20, hands on the ears. And when you put your hands on the ears and you do that thumping back here on the bone at the base of your skull, it'll send a sort of echoing boom, boom. This is called beating the drum. So see if you can feel and hear that resonance as you thump on gallbladder 20. We'll do 3 sets, 24 beats on the drum for each set. You'll want to find some rhythm with your breathing so that while you're bent over, you're continuing to breathe in and out. I divide mine into 8. Breathe in for 8, out for 8, in for 8, and then rise. Okay, that's just a suggestion. You could do 12, you could do whatever number works for you. Just keep breathing. Okay, so hands over your ears, fingers at the nape of your neck, bend over, 24 beats. Now stand up, regulate your breath, and bend over. 24 beats. Stand up, regulate your breath. Remember, the gallbladder channel traverses the side of the body from your side of your temple all the way down to your 4th toe. 24 more, last one. Stand up, relax your arms, 3 breaths. Bring your hands to your chest. Gallbladder is the master of decisiveness. Gallbladder lives under the right rib cage, tucked under the liver. Check in with the gallbladder and see if there's any sense of timidity, any sense of retreat in the face of decision making. See if you can embolden that gallbladder with the breath in and welcome in courage. All right, we've reached the last pose. Thank you for hanging with me for this longer than usual morning movement. Step your feet apart, hands folded together like this. Remember the liver, that's the organ we're on now, starts at the inside of the big toe, traverses up the middle pathway of the inner thigh, comes up here along the ribs, ends here. Okay, so as you're bringing your hands up, imagine pulling energy up through that big toe, nourishing the liver blood. And then as you push your hands down, you can imagine any agitation, unrest that's affecting your heart or your spirit. You're just letting that go back down into the earth. So we are drawing up nourishment through the liver channel. We are releasing anything negative that we do not need through that liver channel. The liver channel is not just one of excess or one of deficiency. It needs to moderate and go both ways, drawing up nourishment and releasing stagnation and unwanted energy. So we're going to rise up onto our toes, drawing up and looking forward with your eyes. Bend over. Do this 3 times. Just natural breathing. 2. 3. As an organ under the rib cage, it has to do with being able to twist. So as you rise up, bend over, look, and return. This is called wagging the tail, because you are twisting, your tail points back, and then it wags to the center. 3. Wag to the center. Now we're going to go to the other side. 2. 3. And last 3. 1. 2. 3. And stand up. And feel. Your heart, hands to your heart. With the liver, we check in with the feeling of anger. Are you accompanied by any anger these days, or today in particular? You can release that. So there's unencumbered enthusiasm. Now we are going to let that practice expand and nourish into our soil. Now rotate our hands up. This is the closing position. Reach up, reach for the sun, and bring it down. Let it shine through the upper dantian. Clear out through the middle dantian. Root down into the lower dantian. Welcoming water and fire, earth, metal, and wood. All factors of our environment. Their qi, their energy is in us, and we cannot help but to be in them.